So today was my birthday, and what does every watch enthusiast want to do on his birthday? Well, they want to go and engage with the watch community and go and try some watches on. So what did I do? I went into Birmingham, I went to Watches of Switzerland on New Street and tried some watches on. So let's see what I tried on. I'm Andy and welcome to the English Watch. This channel is about me and my watch collecting journey, an amateur enthusiast with an eye for detail, helping like-minded individuals like you start your watch collecting journey. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'd also appreciate if you take a look at some of the links in the description that helps this channel grow as well. So it's my birthday, and what are some of the things I got? Well, not too many things watch related other than going to the shop, but one thing I did get is a copy, in fact there's 3 copies, of the Horological Journey from 1971. I haven't had a look through yet, they're a little bit musty, and I'm just letting the smell just sort of dissipate a little bit, but oh, look at that. The new Zenith. How interesting, the new Zenith. The time capsule. Never before has time been so effectively protected. Well, we'll see. The Zenith Defy from 1971. That'll be interesting. By W.G. Pike. The new Zeniths defy all. Maybe I'll scan this in. I'll scan this in and put it on the Buy Me a Coffee page. What do you reckon? Yeah, why not? That looks interesting. Oh, I didn't know that was in there. There you go. Anyway, so today I went into Watches of Switzerland, as I mentioned, in Birmingham. So what I've done is I've created a bit of a mood board for my collection. So I'll put it online, but in PowerPoint I've created my watch collection. Now what I've done as well is I've put in there some selection from Omega, from JLC, from Rolex, and some others as well, just to see how those watches fit into the overall collection. Now I sent this to Natalie from Watches of Switzerland, just so she was prepared for the enthusiast that was about to walk through the door. And, you know, lucky for me, she'd pulled some of the watches together, and also, lucky for me, they had almost a full stock of the Rolex models that I was interested in, which is great because I could try them on. Couldn't necessarily buy them, but could try them on. So let's have a quick run through. Now before we do that, what I also did is I took in my collection. I took it in the state that I would normally wear it. So for example, the Speedy on leather strap, the Tudor on a steel, and my trusty Planet Ocean on its rubber strap. So we took those in, and I also wore my Submariner because that's the core collection. It's the four watches. That's the core, and it was what of the watches that would fit in with these ones. And some of the things I've written down on my mood board. So I put wants. So fun, colour, complication, core collection too similar, although Natalie disagreed. She said a nice collection with a bit of diversity, and I guess you could look at it and say there's some red and some blue, chronograph, GMT, dive watches, etc. But also the Ys around my anniversary, birthday, work situation, etc. as well. And before we started trying any of the watches on, I did take Natalie through my collecting history. I don't know if anyone's seen Aeroplane, where the old lady is sat next to the guy, I'm forgetting his name now, the hero of the movie with the hair, the drinking problem. And he starts telling her his story, and I can't remember which one she does. I think she either hangs herself, or she sets fire to herself, or she's just a skeleton at the end of it. But I was, I think what was important for me was to impart my emotional journey of why I'd come to collect the watches, and a lot of it was on the back of my father, who started his, I call it collection of one watch, because I bought my Omega, he bought an Omega, he died, left me some money, I bought another Omega, and another Omega, and then on and on it went. So I think it was nice to to tell that story and to say that, you know, I buy watches for keepers. I did sell a watch once. I don't know if I want to do it again. So over time, maybe, you know, my two sons may become quite lucky at some point, either a graduation or a wedding or whatever it is, as I whittle down towards my, call it an exit, couple of watches, whatever that looks like. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that was clear in terms of my motivations, and it did help. So the first thing we did was we talked about Omega. Now, I previously tried on the Diver 300 ceramic, the black one. Really like that watch, but when you look at it with the Planet Ocean next to with the blue rubber strap on, you think those watches are going to be competing for my attention, so not necessarily a good one to introduce. Now, I know I've said previously the Planet Ocean might be in danger, but actually it's not. That's kind of my summer watch, and having put it back on again recently, having not worn it for probably a couple of months, yeah, that one's staying. Talked about the 300, the white dial. I've never been a big fan of the 300. The white dial does intrigue me, and it does look nice, but not quite special enough in this instance. Maybe one, graduation watch or a first luxury watch, but for me, I think I'm past the 300, and I got a lot of divers anyway. Then we looked at the heritage pieces, so the 300 with the new one with the lollipop dial, black dial on the steel bracelet. Now, I had tried that one a number of times previously, and I do like it, but for some reason, just looking at it in the store, and it might have been because it had the sticker over the crystal, the dial just looked a bit dull. I know it's like a matte dial, and it's got that fake vintage lumen over as well, which doesn't bother me, by the way, but I just looked at it, and amongst all the other watches, and that was what's important, to see it in context with everything else, it just looked a bit dull. Now, we also tried the gold, the bronze gold. Again, dial wise, it's very similar to the steel one, so for the same reason, looked at it, I thought, I do like it, but it's just not popping, and I wanted something to pop a bit more, and I think they were just a little bit too understated for me. So we moved on to JLC. Now, as you know, I've been a big JLC fan for a while. Not bought one yet, and there's definitely room for something from the JLC collection in my collection. Now, JLC, watchmaker, etc. You could say that they're a discount Patek Philippe, but maybe they're the thinking man's Patek Philippe. I don't know. Anyway, what did we try on? Now, I was thinking of the Blue Moon phase. I did put that one down there. They didn't have it, and I'm kind of glad in a way, because we tried the silver moon phase. This is the ultra thin moon phase, the silver dial with the blued seconds hand, and the moon phase with the blue. It's very dark blue background. It's almost black. And I tried that watch on. That was the first one, and I really liked it. And you'll see in the shots that I wore white sleeves. So I sort of wore sort of smart casual work attire, just to make sure that I got the right combination of how I wear the watch. And what I noticed was, not only was the watch super comfortable on the wrist, it fit really well for its size, but it looked amazing. I did refer to it as a granddad watch, and it kind of looks the 40s and 50s style, but in a bigger size. So if you think about sort of vintage Seamasters that are 34mm, and then scale it up, this is what you've got with the ultra thin, and I really liked it. Now, the other thing I liked about it was the fact that it had a polished case, a high polished case. It does have a bit of a satin finish around the bezel, but it's mainly polished. And then when I tried on the calendar again, and the Polaris, they are brush cases, and I think amongst the other watches that I have that have got brushed cases, the polish of the ultra thin sort of stood out effectively. So what we did was we sadly crossed off the calendar. Still a lovely watch, don't get me wrong, crossed off the Polaris. And the Polaris, I didn't mind. They didn't have the one that I was looking for, which was the Marina, the blue dial one with the date. But we tried on the black with the bracelet. But there was just something about it that the dial I just didn't like. Lovely watch, by the way, very well made. There was just something about it. Now, I didn't try the Reverso on. I have tried them before, and I look at it and I think it's a bit odd on my wrist. So it's not something I've ached for, but there you go. So then we moved on to Rolex. Now, what did we try? We tried the Explorer 2 Polar Dial. Now, I tried the previous version on. This one was replaced last year, and they did make some changes to the case and to the dial. And I guess the one thing that struck me was the hands were very black, very legible. And the movement, when you sort of wind the hour hand around, it was like a rifle bolt. It was really, really sharp. I thought that was really special. But I felt the watch was a little big on my wrist, maybe not what I was looking for. The fact that it was white, if it was a smaller watch, I would have been in there, but I think the fact that it was just a bit too big. The bracelet obviously is the same as my Submariner, brushed oyster bracelet. Okay, it's a bit chunkier because it's a bigger watch, but it was nice, but I don't know. Not that I could buy it, but I'd put it to one side. Now, I did want to try a Milgauss. They didn't have a Milgauss, although walking out, and they did have one in the Goldsmiths window, but I didn't have time to go in there. And I have tried one on before, and I know I like that one. But I did try on the Coral Red Oyster Perpetual. Now, I do like the OP. I like the Oyster case, so similar to the Milgauss, where you've got the curvier case from the Datejust Oyster Perpetuals, which is nice because it's a different case style to the Submariner, which when you consider the Explorer 2 and the GMT that I tried as well, look more similar in feel to the Submariner. Having an oyster case was nice. But I did look at the OP and it was nice and colourful and it was lots of fun, but I thought, when am I ever going to wear it? And I know I like the yellow dial as well, but it's the same. It's yellow, red, green. Don't know. Not never, but not now. So we then tried on the Batgirl, the blue and black. Don't ask me what the codes are. Now, the GMT does hold an attraction to me because it is, although it's similar in style to the Submariner, the Jubilee bracelet gives it a bit more, call it sparkle, a bit more, it's a bit dressier, isn't it? But also the blue, I think, on the bezel really pops nicely. So, and I think as a opposite to the Tudor GMT with the red and the blue, I thought having the blue and the black, that was quite nice. So we did like that one, and I think I was registered for a red and a blue on their list, and we changed that actually to the blue and the black. We'll see when that ship comes in. And lastly, from Rolex, I did try the Explorer, the regular Explorer, the 36mm. I saw it nestling on the table, and I thought, what is that? It's a tiny, dainty little watch, and I have tried it before because a colleague of mine has it in the at work. I thought it just felt so. When I looked on my wrist and looked in the mirror, it didn't look bad. It looked okay, but just looking at it next to the other watches, it just looked like a lady's watch. If it was your only watch and you didn't have a selection of larger watches, there's probably no problem with it. I mean, like I said before, I had a 36mm watch for years. It's fine. But when you then used to 41, 42, 43mm watches, and then you go back to a 36, it's a bit of a jar. So lovely watch, but again, not for me, not for now. So that was it. I guess what I did with my mood board was went through everything, and I'm now able to sort of cross off a number of watches. So I think my short list going forwards now is very short. Definitely that silver dial ultra thin moon phase. If the GMT Master 2 or the Milgas comes in at some point, great. I don't expect them to come in anytime soon, so that will stagger my purchasing quite nicely. So what I want to do is I want to say a big thanks to Natalie and the team over at Watches Switzerland in Birmingham. As always, fantastic service, very accommodating. It was really nice in a no pressure environment to try watches on, to try and plot my way through my collecting journey and what sort of things I can have next. Now these are very expensive pieces, and these aren't things, as we said before, that you should rush into. So it's nice to be able to take your time and try everything. I think, in my mind, I'm really narrowing down. I think you could tell the number of times I picked up that JLC that was the kind of watch I was looking for. So watch this space. Now, because it is our wedding anniversary, the 25th wedding anniversary this year, I did have a discussion about my good lady, whether she would like a watch or a ring or something else. So there may be a bundling deal that could be done. We'll see. Anyway, until next time, I'm Andy. This has been The English Watch. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.